Let's start off with the transverse wave. Now, as we hold this hose here,
sideways flow.
You can see that it takes a finite time for this transverse wave to propagate from one end of this hose to the other. You can see there's a finite time. That finite time is the speed of light. And that is what we're considering our limit in the electromagnetic world in classical theory. Okay, now Eric and I are going to demonstrate the longitudinal wave, the one that travels infinitely faster than the speed of light and has no losses. just jerk it like this. As you can see, if you move one end, the other end moves instantaneously. There is no time delay as there is with the transverse wave. And it's very important to pay attention to that because that's the one we completely ignore. That is the pressure wave essentially through the ether, as it was. One way to describe it. But you should remember that little demonstration because we spend all our time looking at just one of two waves. The transverse wave is unfortunately the one with the losses. The longitudinal wave is the one with no losses that we don't even acknowledge exists. And that's also the one, I might add, how our minds transmit between each other. And that's the one that cells use to communicate with each other. It's the one that nerves use to communicate with each other. I have a more interesting chart. I'll use Eric's chart here. As you can see, if you were to stack these cells up here side by side of number 2 here, this is the transmission line with the capacitors in series and the coils in shunt. If you put another one here and another one and another one, what you find is you have 4 capacitors in a little cell-like structure. You have 4 capacitors, a coil shunt, 4 capacitors, a coil shunt, 4 capacitors, a coil shunt. It's my theory that the capacitors are the cell membrane of the cells next to each other, and the coil is probably DNA, would be my guess. And it is a guess, of course, but I have a feeling that's how the nerve fibers work, and also probably how life itself develops energy from the ether and scalar fields. Of course, the concept of the ether was banned, when was it there? About 19...
Einstein.
Yeah, Einstein, yeah, basically. Einstein knew how it all worked, but he did not, was not allowed, shall we say, to divulge it.